So the Mandela Effect and some of the little subtle misspelling, words have changed in spelling, misremembering, parallel reality, some other external force creating changes, whatever it is, right? Something's going on. There's a lot of people who remember spellings of products, spellings of names, and movie quotes, etc. That's I'm sure most of you who are watching this are well aware of these situations that are out there with people claiming one memory and then reality says otherwise. And the thing that makes it interesting, in my opinion, is first of all, I have personal connection to a number of these, and I have valid ways to trust my memory based on other memories that occurred at the same time as the memory of the weird spelling. So anyway, so yes, the Mandela effect is something that is hard to nail down. It's easy to point out the symptoms. It's easy to point out the examples. Quite a different story to definitively say what it is. I have my suspicions on what's causing it, and to sum that up, I believe that these changes are part of our normal reality in the physical realms. That things change, like the Berenstain Bears changing to the Berenstain Bears. I believe that these kinds of changes are always occurring, not always, but occur on a regular basis, and it's just a normal way to experience reality. However, for whatever reason, human beings in general were not able to recall alternate histories. Whatever the new version is, whatever it changed into, everyone kind of just assumed that that was correct, and there was no maybe some specific few individuals who have a certain sensitivity or attunement, whatever you want to call it. I think I just made that word up, by the way, but whatever you want to call it, there are certain individuals who may have and have reported that they've experienced these types of Mandela effect things for a long time, well before it started to become more commonly known. But yeah, so with regard to the Mandela effect, I just figured there are some, I don't know, newer ones that at least newer ones that I've become aware of. Most are based on others who say, "Hey, this looks different," or "I think this has changed," and then I looked and indeed a lot of them have changed for me as well. So some of these new ones, they're Josh Sparrow YouTube channel. This gentleman, he came presented a couple that I hadn't seen before, and I figured I would let you guys also know what he was talking about was the uh, the product. It's adult diapers, and it's a famous brand of adult diapers that have been around for decades and decades. It is the one, the only. Depends. Adult briefs. So adult diapers depends. And now out of the handful of examples I'm going to go over that I've recently heard about, this one is the strongest of the what I'll call the new ones that I've come across. The depends changing to depend, plural, not I'm sorry, singular, not plural. So I was aware of depends, depends, depends the diapers, and now it's depend, depend. Yes, yes, yes. I get it. Maybe I'm just not remembering it right. But damn, the depends, the label at the store. Well, I used to shop for adult diapers, right? No, I've worked in retail for a while. Personally, have stocked that product. I remember what it said. It said depends. Yeah, it also is commonly used in language, depends. And yes, sometimes people will pluralize things, words that yeah, yeah, you can disregard that if you want because there are many ways to rationalize it. But I'm freaking telling you, it was depends. I remember it was depends. And when I look at it and it says depend, it looks really freaking weird to me. Okay. These other ones I'm not. These other ones are just feels a little strange. It's not as definitive. Depends one for me is definitive. Um, also, Josh Farrow pointed out Mark Hamill, and others as well pointed out Mark Hamill, the actor who plays Luke Skywalker in the Star Wars movies. Mark Hamill. Loved the movies. Followed them since I was a little kid. I even seen The Empire Strikes Back in the movie theater. But yeah, Mark Hamill. I always knew it as Hamil, but it's Hamill. Hamill. I mean, it's probably pronounced Hamill. I haven't done a lot of research at this point on this specific topic, but I was able to verify that indeed it is Hamill, Hamill, probably pronounced Hamill. But it looks funny to me. I don't know. It just looks funny to me. Others have said it's definitely changed to them. One that's going around, Febreze air fresheners. Febreze, 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 F-E and then breeze, Breeze. That's how I remembered it. Now it's Febreze, just one E, Febreze, one E. Just like the Mark Hamill one, it looks odd to me, but at the same time, it kind of looks okay to me. So I don't know. The Depends one though, the Depends one got me pretty good. Other ones that I've just noticed on my own that I figured are probably subtle. Now, again, before I bring up these next couple of examples, these are things that I haven't heard others talk about. However, I have noticed an oddity, like, I don't remember them referring to that in this way, and everyone's referring to it in this way. Well, that's strange. But yeah, so this could be an example of an alternate history that I indeed experienced a reality, a physical reality where certain things were said a certain way and now they're different. I get it. Culture changes, society changes. I understand. Um, Usually, when I'm talking about societal shifts and the way people act and talk, it's from if I'm going to bring it up and put it out there, I'm talking about it. It like changes like practically instantly. Quantum jumping, right? So, but yeah, so these are a couple that I've noticed. Um, the football, the big football game known as the Super Bowl, is being called the big game quite a bit. Now, again, I have not, and I'm always gonna be upfront with you guys. If I've looked into something pretty deeply, I will certainly let you know. If I have not, I will let you know. I have not looked into this deeply. They might just be calling it the big game this year more than the past. Like it's like now the big game. I've heard that terminology before in reference to the Super Bowl, but it was much more commonly referred to as the Super Bowl. But from at least from what I have witnessed and observed personally this past Super Bowl season, we'll say the last few weeks. It is in February 2016, so this would have been like the build up to the Super Bowl, well, the couple week build up. Radio stations, television stations, newspaper articles, articles online, those types of things in print and on media. The big game, the big game, the big game, the big game. Pretend I just said that 50 times in a row. Keep hearing it over and over again. And yeah, and so it seemed odd that the Super Bowl was almost, at least again from what I witnessed, almost exclusively called the big game over and over and over. The big game, the big game. Maybe there's like a law change and there was people getting sued and calling it the Super Bowl is maybe the NFL has rights to it and people have to use the big game to either like, kind of like a way of being politically correct and not getting sued, and that's why this year it's like that. I don't know. I'm gonna have to go, and or if someone is interested in finding out more about this, we just got to go back and look at media and newspaper things from previous Super Bowl years and see if indeed the big game was as commonly said. Again, this is little things, but I figured just in case it hits a nerve with you, I'm offering it just because I thought it was a little weird. Okay. There was the daylight blank times. Now this is the United States specific thing because in the United States they switch the times an hour. They change the actual what the clock says. They go forward an hour and back an hour depending on the time of year. So once a year it goes forward an hour and then about a half year later it comes back an hour. And it just does that every roughly half a year. So and I've always heard it called, again, this is just little subtle things, but daylight savings time. And I'm pretty sure the vast majority of people hearing this right now would agree, if they're familiar with this daylight savings time, that they experienced a very similar way of saying it or hearing it. Daylight savings time. But now, or in this reality, or it's always been this way, and I just didn't know it, I didn't learn it right. Daylight saving time, no S. Just like depends, there's no S. It's daylight saving time. Daylight saving time. I never called it daylight saving time. Definitely daylight savings time. Now, this might be a case of people saying it a certain way. It's actually spelled differently. I mean, how often did I read daylight saving time in print? Like, don't forget to change your clocks, twice a year. Wasn't real common time of reading the words. Spoken, sure, but not reading it. So that one might be why. Maybe I experienced a reality in the past where it was daylight saving time, and I just missed that one. But that one seemed a little odd as well. So yeah, those are a couple Mandela Effect things, and I hope you guys are having an awesome day, and I'll see you again soon.